The Miyoo Mini is an absolutely stunning handheld emulator that captures the best of the history of handheld gaming. But one area that has really impressed me is the PlayStation 1 emulator, and I thought we should take a closer look. Starting with Castlevania Symphony of the Night, a game like this is absolutely perfect for a handheld emulator. That side-scrolling Metroidvania type of gameplay just works brilliantly on a handheld device like this. And as you can see, the Miyoo Mini is dealing with this brilliantly, from the sound to the FMV intro sequences and the gameplay itself as well. There are no noticeable issues at all, which means that you can fully enjoy this game on the go. A perfect way to enjoy a game like this, especially if, like me, you haven't gotten around to playing it before. What I really did like about this game that actually came with the Miyoo Mini was that it was in Japanese, which made the cutscenes sound absolutely f***ing awesome. But a great start to the PlayStation emulation on the Miyoo Mini, and a game that I'm really enjoying playing on the go. Next up, we're pushing things a little bit more with some 3D visuals, and we're going to be checking out FIFA 2005, which comes with the iconic EA Sports intro. A game like FIFA could be tricky to play on a device like this, with such fine controls needed to be able to play the game properly, and with the access to the shoulder buttons as well. But playing through this, I've had absolutely no issues with really smooth gameplay, enabling me to really get stuck in and enjoy a game like this on a handheld device. A game like FIFA, however, does show some of the limitations in the size of the Miyoo Mini, and extended gameplay sessions with a game like this will really start to cramp up your hands, especially as you're pressing the buttons so often and having to bring the shoulder buttons into play as well. Nevertheless, cramping issues aside, once again the Miyoo Mini is dealing fantastically with his PlayStation 1 title. Next up, and potentially my favourite PlayStation 1 game to play on the Miyoo Mini, and that is Gran Turismo. I really didn't expect this to feel as good as it does on such a small handheld device, but it is absolutely amazing. I thoroughly enjoy playing Gran Turismo on this, and it's really brought back that enjoyment for Gran Turismo for me, a game which I have so much nostalgia for and have enjoyed so much, but haven't really played that much in recent years. Racing games could be the type of games that would struggle without having the analog sticks that the Miyoo Mini is missing. However, a game like Gran Turismo was designed at a time where analog sticks weren't the norm, so playing this with a D-pad feels exactly how it was meant to be played. Gran Turismo on the Miyoo Mini is an absolutely exhilarating ride, and it is so enjoyable and so fast-paced, and it just looks absolutely amazing on this glorious screen as well. Easily one of the best examples at showing how well the Miyoo Mini can deal with PlayStation 1 titles. Slowing things down a little bit, and we've got Everybody's Golf 2, or Hot Shots Golf 2 it was known in the USA. And once again, the Miyoo Mini is playing this absolutely fantastically, no issues at all. Whereas some sports games like FIFA 2005 can push the limits of the Miyoo Mini in terms of its size and can lead to cramped hands, a game like Everybody's Golf is absolutely perfect for a device like this, where you can take your time, pace yourself, and not have to hammer those buttons so much and get those cramped fingers. A game like this, a game like golf, is perfect on a handheld device, and type of game that you can just quickly pause, stick in your pocket, and pick it up and carry on where you left off from. The Everybody's Golf series of games is one of my favourite series of all time, and it's really nice to be able to go back to the origins and experience these games as they started, but on the Miyoo Mini. Now we're really starting to push things with Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, or Biohazard as we have in this version. And I don't know, I think it actually sounds cooler on the start menu when it says Biohazard. I don't know, you tell me, what do you think? But this is where we really first start to see the Miyoo Mini struggle a little bit, and the intro sequence, you can hear the audio is quite choppy.
No one dared to oppose them. That lack of strength would ultimately lead to their destruction.
But that is the only issue we face. As soon as we get into the normal cutscenes and the gameplay itself as well, once again, the Miyoo Mini is dealing with its PlayStation 1 title absolutely brilliantly. Now, saying that though, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and I'm guessing any Resident Evil games from the PlayStation 1 generation, are going to be really tricky to play on the Miyoo Mini. And that's really to do with the fact that they still have their tank controls. I forgot how tricky those controls really can be. Adding into that the fact that you need to use your shoulder buttons to aim your weapon so you can fire it, and this makes Resident Evil 3 quite a tricky game to play on the Miyoo Mini. Having said that though, I was still really really surprised with the technical abilities of how well the Miyoo Mini played this game. As we're starting to see, in terms of power and in terms of screen, the Miyoo Mini is fantastic for PlayStation 1 games. The only issue you can face, and to be honest I think we could all see this coming, is that the controls can get in the way a little bit sometimes. Not so much the fact that we're missing analog sticks, but that the controls can be a little bit small and cramped for some of those games that really require those fine attention to detail moves or those button presses that require quick movements. Talking of quick movements though, and Tekken 3 plays absolutely brilliantly on the Miyoo Mini. This is an absolute blast, and I thought this might be a lot more difficult, but I don't know, if you're a fighting game player like me, which is more of a button basher than anything else, then this plays really well. If you need those technical frame-by-frame hits, then maybe this might be a bit difficult for you, I don't know. But for me, I absolutely loved playing Tekken 3 on this, and a game which I have a lot of nostalgia for and was never really good at. I don't know, maybe I'll finally get good at it playing it on the Miyoo Mini. Carrying on with a very similar kind of fighting game, and we have Street Fighter EX Plus. Now, I was interested in trying this one because whereas Tekken 3, I feel you can get away with a lot more button bashing in a game like that, a Street Fighter game is a little bit more technical in terms of pulling off the special moves. But I was really amazed to see how easy it is to pull off the special moves even with these small controls in the Miyoo Mini. A game I've previously not had any experience with. I've not played this Street Fighter game before, but I was amazed to see how quick and easy it was to pick up on the Miyoo Mini, and I think this might actually be my favourite fighting game to play on the Miyoo Mini. Another fantastic example of how well it deals with PlayStation 1 titles. Checking out an absolutely classic game on the PlayStation 1, and that's Spider-Man. Now this is another one where the controls do come into play a little bit with this one. Having to be able to jump, web through the skies and kick ass, all the while the camera's spinning around you, can be quite tricky on this. It's not impossible, but it is definitely a tricky experience, at least with the opening levels of this game anyway. Spider-Man on the PlayStation 1 was an absolute classic game, but looking back at it now, the camera on it was a little bit annoying, and you really do notice this playing it on the Miyoo Mini. Now once again, this isn't a criticism of the Miyoo Mini's power, it deals with Spider-Man fantastically. The issue is once again the controls, and with a camera that can be so awkward and tricky, having those smaller controls makes it really difficult to try and balance the two issues. So a game I'm really pleased I can play on the Miyoo Mini, but one I probably won't put that much time into. Honestly, this console is absolutely amazing. Considering I have an AYN Odin, I have a Retroid Pocket 2 Plus, and a load of other handheld devices, strangely enough, the Miyoo Mini is a console that I keep on going back to more and more often, and it's just simply that it's so pocketable and easy to play, but it isn't even limited to just Game Boy and handheld consoles. The fact that you can play PlayStation 1 on this so well is absolutely amazing, and it's a game changer for me in a console like this. Now, if you want to check out the Miyoo Mini in more detail, then check out this review right here. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future awesome handheld gaming content.